Morning, it's Jan here from Australia. Last time I said I'd show you how to make one of these paperclip things. So that's what we'll start off with, and then I'll show you the sorts of things I've done this week. So it's the glue gun ready. So you need a piece of paper that's big enough to cover part of the paper clip. And cardboard is good. And you slip that over the top. There. And then you use your glue gun to attach that. Ordinary glue isn't strong enough. You need the glue gun glue. And then you just put that over there, and I'll turn that off because we won't be using it for anything else. Now you have a clip that will just sit over a page. However, that's not nice enough, is it? So what we'll do is we'll attach that to the front of the cardboard. And then we'll pretty it up a little bit by putting that over the top of the staple. And you don't have to cover the staple, but I just think it looks better. So now we have that. And another way you can do it is to have a piece of paper that you slip across the top of a paper clip. I'm not gluing the paper clip down this time, I'm just gluing the paper, some scrapbooking paper. Now if you want it to go that way, that's where it goes. If you want it to go the other way, you put it on around the other way, but you'll figure that out when the first time you make one, just like I did. And while we've got the glue out, I'll show you another kind of pocket. This is made with an envelope, and you fold it up part way. You cover this part with some pretty paper, and you cover this part with some pretty paper. Some people also make that a pocket, so they cover that first and then they cover that, but I don't bother with that. I just do that for this one. It's a simple and it's good and easy. So let's use the glue. During the week I've done a bit of things in my journal that I've been building as we're doing our course, our series at least. And I'm going to show you what I've done. I could put it on that side, but I like it better that way. Double-sided paper is really good, because you've got two choices. And now I have a pocket in there, and I can put it on to make it a pocket there, and I can decorate that, and that's rather nice, isn't it? So I'll just put the lid on this and I'll show you what I've been doing this week, and then we'll talk about what I want you to do. Now, do you remember I said we'd make our cover out of that cereal box. Well, I have begun mine. I have collaged it, and then I covered it with the linings from paper napkins, which is the white tissue. And then I just drew our little things, you know, what we've been doing in other parts of our journal. And then I coloured them light and dark with some watercolour crayons and outlined my lines with a thick paint pen. Looks a bit like stained glass, I think. I've also stitched around the edge because this will keep it together better. And in a little while we are going to work on the inside. So that's why you need it so thick in the spine. So now I'm going to show you some of the things I've been doing this week. Now, when we did this particular next bit, this won't stay closed when I open it. So I'm going to put that on it and just clip it closed. Looks attractive there. I could decorate that a bit more if I wanted. And then it's closed. So now the next thing that I did was, do you remember I showed you last week how I put that on crooked and it wouldn't open properly? I tore off the bit that was getting in the way, and I used some of our curly cues that we've been doing on a piece of book page, and I'll do a bit more and cover that up there. I left it there so you could see what I did. So the next thing I want to show you is, I noticed that this poor old ancient music paper, nearly as ancient as me, is breaking. So either I can turn it back there and stick it down, or I can put a piece of some fancy paper on it to make it stronger. So that I will do before next week, and I'll show you what I did. Now, I started to put some quotes through the journal. This one says, "Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life." And I used a pen that sort of picked up the colours out of in here, olivey green, to pick up these colours. I may do some more to it. I tucked a tag inside that pocket that we put on last time. I think that's all in this one. Now in this signature, I did another quote, "Gratitude creates a vision for tomorrow." As a baked bean butterfly. These are not dissimilar, are they? This is from my friend's paper, the one that died, and I got all her paper from her sons. Now, this page is a book page with a double-sided, and I didn't want to lose either of the pictures. This side matches this beautifully. So I have folded it over and I glued it on this side of the page, and then I glued this piece over the top of it. Now, I've written in here, I've been able to read since I was 2. I have been reading for a long time. I'm 74 now, and I could read because my mother taught me, and I'm very grateful that she taught me how to do that. It was my mother's party trick to show me how to read, show people how I could read the Newcastle Morning Herald, which was an enormous newspaper, bigger than me. I've put a pocket on there with some pictures of books in a library, and I've written some more things about why I'm grateful for books. I've had 4 of my own books about quilt making published, so I've written lots of articles in magazines, and I've written a lot of things online for a place called Squidoo, which now belongs to Hub Pages. So writing, reading and books, and now Kindle or something similar on my electronic tablet. I read books every day, and I still love reading and books. Now this is the card that I put over the top of that letter to my friend. So I've glued it in. It's now ready for some work to be happening on that page. I noticed it said Happy Mother's Day, so I put some washi tape in there. When you use washi tape, it's meant to be removable. That's why it's not very sticky. So I'm going to pull a little bit more off, and I'm going to show you how I put it on. I'll put it on a different page. I might put it on this page here. What you can do with it so that it stays down, especially if you're using it to attach something, is pull it across the glue stick. And then when it goes down, it's got both lots of glue on it and it won't move. So that's a tip for you. The next thing in here is a different kind of pocket. Now that's the other side of this page. So I just need to clean my hands just a moment. I've got glue on them for where I did the washi tape because it's so thin, that little bit of tape. Okay, so I decorated that to show you how it looks after it's decorated, and now I'll show you how you work it. So the first part of the signature is like that, and the second part is like that. So that's either side. We're going to do the same as this, and all you do then is turn that back like that, and you glue it and decorate it. So I'll just glue it, but I won't decorate it. So the first thing we're going to do is glue it inside there, like that. Part of it done already. And then in there, and you can actually glue it there and there too if you want. I didn't on that one, but you can. So it just needs some decoration. If it had a better picture than that, we could use that picture that was already there. So now you have a pocket in there once it's dried. And on my one that I did over here, I have a little tuck spot there if I wanted to put something in there. It's just in there, okay? So that's another kind of pocket for us to do. And I may decorate that and show you it next week. Now next is another quote, I think. Gratitude turns luck into an acceptance. That one says, again, I chose a pen that went with the other page. That's tea-dyed paper. And this one I've glued a pocket down. I made one of those paper clips. See, there's the other side of it, and it's attached in there with the glued on piece. So that's the one we made. We made this part last session, and now I have attached it to some cardboard on the inside of it. I'll just leave that there for now. I think that's all in that one. I have some homework for you to do this week too. Anyway, let's get into what I've got to show you in this one. Okay. Is that all that's in here? I think that's all, just what's in the middle. Okay. Now, I decided to use this as the centre of this signature, but then after I did that, I thought I'd rather have that in there, so I've got to think up what I'm going to do in there. This is the frontispiece out of Annemieke Meen's book about her wildlife art, mostly butterflies and insects. And I wrote the quote, "Gratitude makes sense of the past and brings peace for today." So when things happen to you or have happened to you in the past, If you're grateful for the lessons it's taught you, or you're grateful for how you are now or how you've grown because of what happened in the past, this is how you get the sense out of the past. And then because you've made sense of it, you now have peace in the current time. So I put a line around the edge, which I call my barbed wire line because I put 2 little strokes here and there all round. Then I put a star in between, and then I put dots in between the stars and the barbed wire. And the colours I got from here. Easy, isn't it? And that's the thing we made, and also goes with it. We made that, remember when I was teaching you how to draw leaves that were started off as hearts, and then you put some stems on them, and then you put some circles on, and next thing you had that. Here is a collaged card that I made out of scrap. I've stitched around the edge with a fancy stitch, and I've collaged over the top of it the top layer of a butterfly napkin, or serviette, paper serviette as we call them in this country. So we have lots of quotes, and I put them through in different coloured pens. How I got my idea for the colours were the pages where they were, or in this case from this cardboard. And this sticker here is actually not a sticker at all. It's some paper that I cut out of, words that I cut out of magazines and catalogues. And you immediately have some words that you can use in your journal. If you don't like your writing, or you don't think you write well enough, or you think you'd rather have it a bit bigger or a bit different, these are ways that you can get words. I just cut them out randomly. I put them onto paper. Some of it's sticker paper that I can take the top of. I have a little sticker maker, an XL, Xyron machine, that I did with that. I've got glue under my fingernail, look at that. And it's a really simple way to get something different on your page. There's a lovely big number there that I cut out of a magazine. So it's pretty straightforward to get some different kinds of writing into your journal. Now, the next thing we'll do is have a look at our cover. First I need next time I'm going to make you, I just saw that there, I'm going to teach you how to make that pocket. Rada Fee makes these, and they're clever and easy. So that's for next session. Now I just need my bit of plastic under there, because I'm going to use this icky glue. So I've cut a few pieces of my, what I call my unsatisfactory watercolour papers, things where I've been doing watercolours and wasn't happy with the result. Sometimes I paint both sides, and if I'm still not happy, I call them practice pieces. And what I've cut is a piece for the spine. See both sides? A piece there. There. And then I'm going to put over the top of that some fabric. I'm wondering whether that's strong enough to hold that watercolour paper, because it's a lot stiffer than, oh no, it's going down, I think. I'll smooth it all down in a moment with the fabric. Got a piece of fabric that's just shy of the length of the spine, and then I've given it extra out each side to make sure it attaches out to the sides of the colour. Don't worry about the torn edges because they will stop when they get to the glue. They'll stop pulling out. The glue will glue it down. I'm going to glue over the top of it to make it even stronger. And afterwards, I'm going to weight it down. So today we've looked at quotes. Now, where did I get all those quotes from? I did a search in my internet browser, my Google one, Google Chrome, but you can do it in any internet browser that your favourite one that you use, Firefox or Edge or Internet Explorer. And I'm thinking that I'm going to have to do, these are the next two pieces that are going on. I put some watercolour crayon around the edges of there. So I'm going to put that one on the front and that one on the back. And I'm thinking that I'm going to need the stronger glue, so that's what I'm going to use on these. But I don't think this is quite stiff watercolour paper. I think it's probably about 300 GSM or maybe even more, so that watered down wood glue isn't strong enough. I'm using the watered down wood glue, but you can use Mod Podge, which is a similar consistency. I'm just going to roughly centre that, making sure I miss the part that's the, there, it has to come a little bit more that way, there. And that's definitely going to need a weight on it. Encyclopedia weight, probably. And this one also. Doesn't take very long for this glue to set up, but it does take a few minutes. And by the time I'm finished with this side, the other side's probably going to be set up. Be wise if I leveled them up front and back, wouldn't it? There. It's upside down. Oh dear, never mind. It's not now. Put that on there for a minute. That was close. I best put the lid on that before I do something bad. So what happens now is, after this dries, probably tomorrow, I'm going to put in some eyelets in the top of there, probably 2. And then next time I'll show you how I'm going to bind this, which is a really easy way to do it and doesn't involve any sewing at all. Now your homework reminds me of when I was teaching at TAFE. Your homework is to write down 3 of your best qualities. I found this the other day and thought, oh, what a good idea. Now, qualities are the things that are intrinsic to you, that are special to you. One of my qualities is that I never tell lies. I'm always honest. And once I did an exercise with my family that I had done with the personal development program, where you get somebody, your family, to sit together, or your friends, and you get a person to write one word about you and turn it over, pass it along to the next person, and they write a word and turn it over. When it got back to me, every single member of the family, all 6, had written honest. And that's how I am. Another one of my qualities is I'm friendly, and I'm also lively. And a little while when I wasn't, when my husband was killed, my daughter died, my father-in-law died, and a whole lot of other dreadful things that happened. And it was a few years before I came good again, but some of my friends said, oh, your colour's back. So I'm a colourful person. So that's another quality of mine. So I want you to do that. I want you to write down 3 of your best qualities. And on the other side of your tag or the piece of paper you're using that you're going to pop in your journal, I want you to write 3 of your talents. Now, talents and qualities are not the same. One of my talents is that I have a beautiful soprano voice. Another one is that I'm an artist. I'm artistic. And those are the sort of things that are talents, things that you're good at doing. And there may be things that you can't think of yourself, or you might feel awkward about writing good stuff about yourself, which is why it's a good thing to get someone else to write it for you. And if you get your partner or one of your children, your older children, because your little ones wouldn't be able to manage the concept, I don't think, or a friend or a couple of friends, tell them you're doing it as an exercise in this gratitude journal, and you might be surprised what they write down. You might be very surprised what other people see as one of your talents. Another one of my talents is that I'm a good listener. I love to talk, but I also am a good listener. And I've had people say that they realise that I'm listening to what they're saying. So that's a talent. And you might also be talented at science or mathematics or lots of things like that. So first of all, it's 3 of your best qualities, and then on the other side, your talents. And they're things to be very grateful for, very, very grateful for. Now, that's all set up now. So now we have our cover ready to have the signatures attached, and we'll do that next time. And we're nearly finished with this journal. I've decided I'm going to call mine my Garden of Gratitude, because an awful lot of the pictures I've chosen have garden style of things, you know, flowers and gardens, pictures of gardens, pictures of flowers, also landscapes. So I decided that I would call it my gratitude garden. You don't have to name your journal, you just call it your journal. Doesn't really matter. But I like to call my books by a name. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to do your job that I've given you. Hope you enjoyed this session. See you next time. Bye for now.